A special collaboration between two Grand Rapids museums brings a new exhibit to West Michigan that explores the relationship between two great people's movements that took place 100 years apart. WKTV Journal visited the exhibit and brings us this story.
This is Changing America. This is the newest traveling exhibit here at the Grand Rapids Public Museum. And really the idea of Changing America is it looks at these two events 100 years apart in American history. So in 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation. In 1963, the March on Washington. These really two key civil rights events in the history of our country. And then really tries to draw some connections between them and some conclusions about sort of where we may be going now. The core of the traveling exhibit was created by the Smithsonian, by the Museum of American History and the African American History Museum. And so that tells what you would expect, the sort of national story, the big picture about these events. But whenever we bring in a traveling exhibit like this, we think that it's really important to put the Grand Rapids or West Michigan local spin. So in order to do that, we collaborated with the Grand Rapids African American Museum and Archives and the director there, George Byard, to loan us some artifacts, to share some personal stories, and really to try and fill in that local twist on the story.
Being an exhibit that bookends the Emancipation Proclamation with the March on Washington, they came to us to see if we had artifacts or who knew any local people who would be able to help supplement that particular show. We had a pretty good number of items that we thought would be acceptable. We started out kind of in discussions, and then they came down and looked at our collection and picked out what they wanted.
We've worked closely with them on several projects. This has really been a great project where they've sort of served as an advisor to us to help us just sort of think through how to do this exhibit, and have been absolutely outstanding to work with. Have helped provide artifacts and content, volunteers for the exhibit. So the exhibit is free with general admission to the Grand Rapids Public Museum. It's on the 3rd floor in our LAX Changing Exhibit Gallery, which is our largest gallery, and it will be here through mid-October. So you've got the whole summer as well as those first couple months of the school year when we're hoping that some of our school groups will visit the exhibit as well. I think my favorite piece is actually one that is on loan from the African American Museum. It's called a rule sheet for marchers. So it's just a 8.5 by 11 typewritten piece of paper that was handed out to people who participated in the March on Washington, and really emphasizes the importance of nonviolence to the civil rights movement.
A couple exhibits that they took really reach out, I think. The one was an emancipation document that actually spelled out somebody's freedom. It's different to say, Lincoln freed the slaves, but when you can actually read on a piece of paper that such and such a person is no longer held by this family or this person and is henceforth and forever free, it really drives the point home.